I'm watching the FIBA World Cup tournament, and I'm following along and reading about it, and I love watching overseas basketball because I like seeing the different styles and ideologies that come in from like watching Germany and watching Spain and watching the Dominican Republic team play. It's always a good time just seeing what they do differently compared to what we in the U.S. do. It's a great time. I love it. And I'm bringing up the FIBA World Cup because I want to talk about. I needed a reason to gush over Anthony Edwards, and it gave me that. If you didn't know, Anthony Edwards dropped 34 points to lead the team USA past Germany. And he looked really good. He looked really phenomenal. And I think next year, Anthony Edwards can have a breakout season. Now, you may say, Elijah, he had his breakout season last year. He averaged 24 points per game, helped Minnesota get into the playoffs. They lost in 5 games to the defending champion Denver Nuggets. And he made his first All-Star game last year. I think this is the year where we see him really, truly blossom into that true number one option in Minnesota. This is the year when he probably will have a first All-NBA first-team caliber season. I think his 24 can easily jump to maybe 27 or 28. And I think he takes that superstar leap. And I'm basing this off of his time playing overseas in the FIBA World Cup. If you don't know, as my dog wakes up and shakes and stuff like that, most of the time when players play overseas, they play in a tournament, they come back during the regular season and they're dominant. They dominate. There's a new wrinkle to their game. They play a lot better. And I think Edwards can be one of those guys who's going to play a lot better during the regular season based on his time playing overseas. I also put Tyrese Halliburton in that list, but more so Anthony Edwards. Now, my only concern with this take I have is the Minnesota Timberwolves himself. Now, the team was made the playoffs last year. They made the play-in to get to the playoffs. But it still feels like this team is a way away. I feel like Anthony Edwards is up here, and then it's the rest of the team. And there's no shot to the guys like Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert. You got a really good vet in Mike Conley. You have a really solid bench of guys like Kyle Anderson. But this team still feels like they're ways away to really being a title contender. Now, they went out and they gambled and they made that trade to get Rudy Gobert to put them in that upper echelon in the Western Conference, and we still have to see if that move pays off for them. There's a lot of people who feel like maybe the Karl Anthony Towns and the Rudy Gobert pairing isn't one that's gonna fit. I want to see how those two look like playing together for a full 82 to see if it does like pan out for them. But I think Anthony Edwards, ultimately, he's the number one. If you have to either trade Rudy, they probably won't trade Rudy, which leaves Cat as the odd man out in that situation because they traded a lot of draft picks and young assets to get Rudy. But one thing's for certain, Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards is that guy in Minnesota, and I think he's going to be the man long term for them. I think he's the guy you rebuild around, and I think if you do trade Cat, you try to get back as much as possible to build around Ant Edwards because he's a star. Also, shout out to Eric Spoelstra who compared him to Dwayne Wade. He legit said he sees a lot of D Wade in his game. I see a lot of D Wade in his game too. They're both explosive guards who can get to the rim at will. They get strong handle, can play defense. I definitely see the D Wade comparisons when it comes to Anthony Edwards. All right, so I definitely had football topics, but we're gonna save that for tomorrow's episode. This is Vince, Word Talk Eli. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope sports pod to try to step to. I'm out. Peace.